Well, hello on this Sunday afternoon. A lot of things is going on. A lot of things. Listening to John Kerry run his mouth, kind of reneging on what he even said in the first place, but now we see that we were going to do it immediately. We were going over there and we're going to bomb Syria. Now we put it off for 9 days because the president wants to wait for Congress. Okay. Being that this is a serious thing going on, and there needs to be some kind of decision made, a real decision made. We either we're going to do this or we're not going to do this. It seems like to me that the president opened his mouth, stuck his foot in it, and has decided, wait a minute, wait. Now, Fassad is saying, if you do this, I'm going to wipe out Tel Aviv. Over there in Iran, they're going to wipe out Israel. So he's sitting there going, but no, I better get Congress in here and get their approval, because if something goes wrong, I want to be able to blame them, you know. Well, instead of waiting 9 days, call Congress in and make a decision. Simple. And if they decide to go in, or don't decide to go in, or say, what if they don't decide to go in, and the president backs off, and more chemical weapons are dropped over there and kill more kids? Then will you go in? Well, isn't that a problem? I think there's something rotten in Denmark. That's an old saying from the Missourians. My family's from Missouri, and I would hear my grandmother, when something is going on that seems sort of suspicious. Maybe one of us grandkids was up there telling grandma something, and she'd go, I smell something rotten in Denmark. Meaning my excuse was not what it should be, okay? I was making an excuse to get out of something that I got myself into. So, when some of the people say, I don't think Hezbollah will do anything anyway, we should go in there and do it, I think they're war weary, I think we're war weary, personally. But yeah, I think they will do exactly what they said they'd do. I think this Assad guy is hunkering down to do what he said he would do. And I think he's planning on doing more. And yeah, he's moving things around. Come on, people. You may criticize Bush all you wanted to criticize, but Hussein had chemical weapons over there. He had them. He used them on his people. We knew without a doubt that he had them, just like we know Syria's had them, and she used them on her people without a shadow of a doubt. But we and the people of the other governments sent in people, inspectors, and they inspected, and they delayed, and they delayed, and they delayed, and they delayed to the point that Hussein, you know, he said no, then he says, you know, America's going to attack us. And I'll probably die over this. But I'm going to do something that will make me a winner in the end run. I'm moving those chemical weapons out of my country. I'm going to put them somewhere else. So when America and the other forces come in, they conquer us and they will find no weapons, and that way it'll give them a black eye. I've really won. I may have lost, but I've won. I remember sitting there, people, seeing the trucks driving across the desert from Baghdad and other places right into Syria and Libya. And when I seen it, I remember looking at my husband and Trish and some people that were here, and I said, Hussein is moving the chemical weapons. They're not going to be there when we get there because we've delayed. We've fooled around. We've drug our feet, and we didn't go in there, and they're not going to be there, and we're going to look bad. And they all looked at me and said, "How do you know?" I said, "That's the nuclear weapon. That's all the weapons. The chemical weapons are being moved out right now. Right now, they're leaving the country, and they're not going to be there when we invade." And they get, "Oh, they're doing something." I said, "They're not going to be there because he's going to move them out. They're moving out right now. He's hiding them in other countries, other Arab countries." And that's what happened. And that's what weapons that Syria is using, is those chemical weapons that Hussein had over there that we didn't find. Well, you found them. Sarah's got them. And she just used some on her people. So, let me see. We're waiting 9 days. And he learned well from Hussein. So now he's moving chemical weapons around. Wonder where they're going. Are they going over there to the Assad in Libya? Are they going into other hands that will use them eventually? We're dragging our feet again. See, if we're going to do this, we need to do it now. We really do. If not, then we need to say, Assad, we don't care what you're going to do to the people. That's a civil war, and we're not going to get involved. And if you drop your chemical weapons and you kill every one of them, then that's, even if it is Assad doing it, it could be the other side doing it to get us and push us to do this and blame the leadership. I mean, they say they have proof that it was Assad that did it. Well, if you do something about it. If you don't, well then, what can I say? I believe we will eventually do it. I really feel that eventually even Congress will go along with it. They'll be suckered into it. Because see, Obama is setting them up. I really, really feel that he's setting them up. So when he does do this, and if something should go wrong, well, he won't be the only fall guy. He'll say, Congress backed me up. They said, yes, do this. And Assad, meantime, is getting some chemical weapons closer to the border to attack Tel Aviv. He said he would do it. I believe the man. I believe that he is as stubborn and as ruthless as our own president is. Or maybe more so ruthless. And I believe that he will carry out. I believe that they're already in place now, and more of them coming in place. As soon as we bomb Syria, they're going to send chemical weapons over in Tel Aviv, and it's going to be a mess. Yes, I know God is going to defend Israel. But have you all not read the Bible that there's going to be a major war over there? I'm not talking about Armageddon, but there's going to be another major war over there. It will set up for the Antichrist, the false prophet, and the beast to walk in. Because that beast, that false prophet, is going to take over Jerusalem. Now, you people may say, oh no, that won't happen, but go get the scriptures and read them. I could sit here and read you every one of them, but I want you to search it out. For once in your life, get in the Bible and begin to search and discern and pray. Jerusalem is going to be attacked again. Jerusalem is going to be taken over by the Antichrist and the false prophet, whether you understand this or not. It's just going to be, because it's going to be taken over, because there's going to be so much damage over this war that's about to happen that Israel will sign a peace treaty. It will force Israel to sign a peace treaty that will only last 7 years. It's biblical. It's Daniel. It's Revelations. But it will come at a price, because Hezbollah will attack Israel. Iran will attack Israel. Syria and that crazy man over there will attack Israel, and other countries will attack Israel. There will be people die over there. One more time, only one more time, Jerusalem is going to be taken over. And it's going to be taken over because of a peace treaty, because of so many dead lying on the mountains of Jerusalem, of Israel, over there on Mount Zion. There are dead bodies everywhere from this war that's just about to break out right now. Do you understand? We are in the beginning of Yom Kippur. Judgment. Judgment time is now upon us. Judgment time. In 9 days, we have already entered into Yom Kippur. The blowing of the trumpets. Rosh Hashanah is about to begin, and Yom Kippur, and the books are open of God, and judgments is going to be made, and things is going to be happening, a momentum. And then when this thing arises and settles over Israel, and they sign the peace treaty to stop this war that's about to begin, so their people won't die. No more of them. You see, this has to happen so the 7-year peace treaty can be signed. It hasn't been signed yet. And we've tried, and other nations have tried to get them to come in negotiation and have a signed peace treaty. This war will push Israel and America and all the countries into the point that Israel will accept a peace treaty so they can stay on their land. But the leader of that peace treaty will take over Jerusalem and the Temple Mount. I'm telling you. And because of that, it will cause Armageddon to happen. Because after a time, nations will rebel against this false prophet and the beast. And they will come and fight like they've never. Even Judah will fight. You know, I used to wonder, why is that Judah on the outside of Jerusalem fighting Jerusalem in the last days? Go over in Ezekiel, let me see, around 36th, 37th chapter of Ezekiel, you will find Judah is with the group on the outside of Jerusalem fighting those that's in Jerusalem. Why would that be? Because the peace treaty has been broken. Satan has set up his throne room on the Mount of Moriah, and people are going to have to pay the price. They're going to have to take the mark. If they don't take the mark, they can't buy or sell, and people will be killed if they worship on Saturday and keep the feast days. They will be killed by this beast and the false prophet. Much will happen, and then you see God at the same time pouring the vials on top of them. But the fighting, the Armageddon battle will start and be fighting, and that's when Jesus will say, that's enough, had it, that's enough. And he comes down and descends down and he sits on his feet on the top of the Mount of Olives, and it splits in two, and the ones that are trapped in Jerusalem will flee through the valley to escape. And that's when he brings the host of heaven down to fight a war, and it will be short-lived. He will fight and he will cleanse the land. But we're not talking about Armageddon right now. We're talking about World War III that is about to happen, that will set up the premises of the Antichrist coming. It'll never happen during a time of peace over there. It has to take the war that will bring the action forth, because there'll be so many dead bodies over there because of this. And there'll be so much destruction, and the land will be so polluted that when this person steps up and says, okay, we got to have peace, we got to stop this, or nobody will be left on the face of the earth. And the peace treaty is signed, and they're going out for 7 years cleaning the dead bodies and burying the dead bodies, and there'll be places that you can't go because of the nuclear bombs that have been dropped and because of the chemical that has been let loose. That's why Hussein had to send them over where he sent them, because they were stored up for the last days. And what's going to happen? But the longer he delays, the more that those countries over there are getting ready for the war. They're preparing. I mean, they say that Sarah's moving, Habzad is moving stuff around right now. Well, yeah, he is. He's ready. He's getting ready. He's not hunkering down in fear. Believe me, you don't understand. Their ideal of death is not the same as ours. Their ideal of respecting life is not the same as ours. See, they're not afraid to die. That's why they put bombs on themselves, walk out in the midst of a group of people and blow themselves up. Because they get to go to heaven. And this is their thinking. I'm not dying. I'm going to heaven, and that's my one-way ticket to heaven, and hallelujah, and I'm going to be up there. If I live here on earth as I am now, I don't know if I'll make it or not. But if I sacrifice myself, I'll make it. Kind of like the Catholic Church did the armies back in those days that walked into Jerusalem and killed people, the Crusaders. They told them, if you go over there and you die, then you go straight to heaven. You don't have to worry about it. Well, if people really believe that, they don't mind dying. If I knew today that was my way to heaven, I mean, I really, really believe that, and I really, really want to go to heaven, I might strap a bomb on myself and go out and blow a bunch of people up too, myself. But see, I know it don't work like that. I know. They're foolishly throwing their lives away for no reason at all. But they don't believe that. They believe it's their one-way ticket to heaven, so they don't mind. So they're not, that leader of that country over there is not hunkering down in fear. He's hunkering down, getting ready to do what he said he will do, even if it means his own life. Because he knows if he dies, he gets to go to heaven, period, bar none. Because he's done what Allah wants him to do. We got to look beyond how we think in this Western world of wisdom, which makes us not understanding of their way of thinking and their wisdom. Because we think everybody believes like we do. Well, they don't. And they're willing to fight and die for their beliefs. It is a spiritual warfare that they're in, and we're just in a physical warfare. Not realizing that these people are serious. And they're serious about trying to wipe Israel out. And some people think, oh, well, Israel will never be wiped out again. She will almost be wiped out one more time. Not totally, not completely. But she will take some really bad damage so that that 7-year peace treaty will be signed short after. This World War III ain't going to last too long. And then the 7-year peace treaty will be signed short after. All nations will push at Israel to do this, so this will not happen again. They'll say, Israel, it's been too devastating. Too many people have died needlessly. And you've got to sign the peace treaty. Peace has got to come to this country. I mean, we can see the raging, the warring, the clashing of nations together over there right now. Biblical. I mean, laid my glasses down. Okay. Wrote some verses back here. Isaiah is the big one. Isaiah. I read Isaiah 17 to you the other day. And it's very plain how Damascus will become a heaping run and won't be a city no more. It's very plain on it. It's very plain that it's going to happen in the fall season when the gathering of the corn and the gleaning of the grapes and the shaking of the olive trees. We know that it's going to happen in the fall, and this is fall. The Ruach Kodesh and Yom Kippur and Tabernacles is about to begin, and it's going to happen in that time. And we're going to understand. Let's read Isaiah 17:12, beginning with verse 12. Woe to the multitude of many people which make a noise like a noise of the seas, and to the rushing of nations that make a rushing like the rushing of mighty waters. That's what's happening right now. The nations shall rush like the rushing of many waters, but God shall rebuke them, and they shall flee far off, and shall be chased in the cliffs of the mountains before the wind, like a rolling thing under the whirlwind. And behold, at evening tide, and the attack will come at evening tide, and before the morning he is not. This is the portion of them that spoil us, and the lot of them that rob us. So it's going to come at an evening, and it will be done and over with by the time morning comes, and it's in the fall, setting us up. Okay, let's go to chapter 49 of Isaiah. 49. Okay, verses 23. Okay, let's read. 49, beginning with verse 23. Concerning Damascus, him is confronted, and Arpad, for they have heard evil tidings that are faint-hearted. There is sorrow on the sea, and it will come from the sea. We're out there. Our ships are there. It cannot be quenched. Damascus is waxed feeble, and turneth herself to flee, and fear has seized her, anguish, sorrow, and taken her as a woman's travail. How is the city of praise not left, the city of my joy? Therefore her young men shall fall in her streets, and all the men of war shall be cut off in that day, saith the Lord of hosts. And I will kindle a fire in Damascus wall, and it shall consume the palace of Ben-Hadad. Okay, let's go over to, I wrote down Amos for some reason. Okay. Amos. Amos 1 and 5, it says, I will break also the bar of Damascus, and cut off the inhabitants from the plain of Avan, and he that holdeth the scepter from the house of Eden, and the people of Sarah shall go into captivity into Koran, saith the Lord. There is a mighty thing that is happening right now. Prophecy is about to be totally fulfilled, and Syria is going to be captive. I mean, she is going to go into captivity. Damascus is going to be totally destroyed. And as her going down, there's going to be other countries touched and devoured before her total going down. Because you see, once we bomb her and she chooses to almost laugh in our face and go after Tel Aviv and other places there, we will have to send the troops in, whether we like it or not. We will. War is coming, people, whether you want to accept it or not. And Israel is going to be in the midst of it. See, there were some things that Israel did in disobedience. She's more of a worldly nation and never changed, even to her God the Father, Yahweh. She lives in a state of, well, we're back, we're going to make it, oh well, she stayed in that complacent stage that she was so many times when God has had to punish her before. And he loves her. And he's going to bring all her people back, but they're not being brought all back yet. Because that's a day that is coming after this mess is over with. That's when the two sticks will come together. And that raiment will come out of Israel more glorious and more powerful than they ever, but they will be totally dedicated to God the Father, and they will recognize Yeshua HaMashiach as their Messiah. They will see the nail prints in his hands. They will see the scar on his side, and they will cry like babies. I am part Jewish, okay? I cry for my country and my people. This is my country. I was born and raised here. But yet Israel is my country. And the people over there are my people. And I love them. And I pray for them. And I pray for the peace of Israel all the time. But peace is not right now. And much trouble is coming. Because we are still a stiff-necked, stubborn generation. God loves us, but we are an old disobedient child yet. You know, when we took over the Temple Mount, went through the old city gates, there was a general that wanted to go blow up the Golden Dome and go ahead and start building the temple. God had gave them the opportunity to do that. He opened the door, but they refused to do that. They closed it again, and they turned the Temple Mount back over to the Muslims in total disobedience to God. So God said, okay, then you have to suffer the consequences, Israel. And the peace treaty has to be signed. And you have to go through this. But I will redeem you in the end. I will bring you out. I will redeem you before every nation upon this earth. I will show every nation who the apple of my eye is. I will redeem my people. I will forgive my people. And I will join together with my people. But she will have to suffer one more time, that I can do this in a way that will glorify myself, and that the whole world will know I am God, and there is no other besides me. My first son, Israel, and Israel is his first son, whom he loves. But he will bring her into obedience one way or the other. You may not recognize that right now, but it's coming. And in the end, we will come out victorious and glorious, because every knee will bow to him. And we will rejoice in him, and we will cry, and we will weep. America's in trouble. The president's waiting around twiddling his thumb. And I'm sure they're sitting over there going, see there, I told you he ain't going to do nothing. Oh, he's all show and no go. He got the ships over here and now he's going to blame it all on Congress. I mean, yeah, you know, other presidents have done what they wanted to do. If they wanted to go in the country, they didn't wait around. They didn't hem-haw. They just went in and did it. Well, this one, he's opened his mouth. He's a chicken, and he's afraid to do anything, and he can't make the right decision, so he's going to sit around, and Congress is going to get up there, and he ain't going to do anything. They ain't going to attack us. But we're going to get ready for war anyway. And if he does, then we're going to show them that we are a people of our word, that we're not like you, Mr. President, that when we say we're going to do something, we do it. We don't wait around. We don't wait. We do it. We'll immediately start bombing Israel. We'll immediately go to war with Israel. We'll show you what we are, and that we're not weary, that we are fighters and we will fight. And we are a people of our word, and if we tell you we're going to do something, we're going to do it. We're not like you, Mr. President, sitting over there saying, I'm going to do this if you do that, and we did it, and so you're not going to do nothing. You're just going to sit around and run your mouth and go, oh, well, I got to wait for Congress. I've got to wait for this. I've got to wait for that. And then one day you'll see the ships. That's what they're thinking. We'll see the ships just float right back out and go back overseas and go back to their land, and they'll start doing their own thing, and we'll keep doing what we want to do. Because we have no respect anymore. And it just shows how weak we are. Our president right now is showing how weak we are. You may think, oh, he's doing the right thing. Kennedy didn't wait around. Bush Sr. didn't wait around. Bush Jr. didn't wait around. Well, I'll take that back. He did. He waited too long because he's waiting for the overseas people to back him, not for Congress, but trying to draw in, and he was going along with them about sending the inspectors in and all of this crap, and Hussein moved the weapons out, and I said, crap, I believe it is crap. And I'm sorry to tell you, I think our president is full of crap right now. He's a very weak and insecure man. That's our president for you. But yeah, I believe there's enough that will finally back it, and we will. If we don't do it right now, within the 9 days, they're going to set off some more chemical stuff, and more people's going to die, and then that's going to push America to have to do it. Because America can't be like we was in Germany when they were killing people, and we stood back and twiddled our thumbs, and 6 million Jews died. But it wasn't just 6 million Jews. There were other people, others that died in those concentration camps because of our indecision and didn't want to get involved. The only reason why we got involved is because the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor. So we got involved because Japanese bombed us, and I believe that was a God thing, saying, well, you won't get in there and help my people? Was a boatload of Jews come over, and we turned them away. Other countries turned away. They had to go back to Germany, and they died in concentration camps for lack of help. We let them die over there. We let a madman kill them. We can't afford to do that this time. But there'll be another chemical drop on people over there. And then America will have to go ahead and enter in. Or we'll step back and do like we did with Germany. Go away. We need to understand what days we're in, people. And we need to start praying for Israel strongly. And for the Muslims that are over there caught in the middle of all of this. They're dying right now. That was Muslim children that we seen die over there. They're suffering from a madman's hand. So, if we're going to do it, do it. If we're not, shut up. That's my say. That's my say. I just pray for everyone because we are in troubled times, people. It's time to get your heart right with Him. Because not many more years down the road, Yeshua is coming back to earth again. Because this war is going to climax in letting the Antichrist come in. And then it won't be long until Yeshua comes down. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise His holy name. Praise His holy name. Have a blessed week. Have a blessed week.